Welcome back to another episode of Plant-Based Dads. I'm Joey. We are a vegan, whole food cooking channel. We do a lot of the starch solutions. Sometimes there's some baking with Tim. If you like what you hear so far, please hit that like button, show us some love, and please think about subscribing and becoming part of the Plant-Based Dads family. If you like getting these videos, you can get them early by becoming one of our Patreon members or by supporting us with PayPal. Our financial supporters are our partners who help us put the show together and get the plant-based message out to the public. If you've ever seen the show, or if you're in the Facebook group and you've wondered, how can I help? How can I be part of this? That's how you can help. You can become a financial supporter. There's a link below this video in the description for PayPal and for Patreon. All right, today I'm gonna do a little special video. I have said before, I plan my week. So I plan my meals for the week and I make them on Sunday. I also plan my desserts, or I would call my fails, right? So I do that because I know I'm gonna want something snacky or sweet, because I have a sweet tooth, throughout the week. And by planning what those are, I don't really fail because I'm eating stuff that's on the starch solution plan. So to me, having those planned is just as important as having my beans and my rice and my broccoli and all that all week. So I've got some really good treats for you today. I'm gonna show you my 3 favorite low-fat, starch solution compliant desserts. So each one of these is great in its own way, but all 3 of them together in one video is gonna be amazing. All right, so sit back, watch what I've done with this. There's no baking in any of them, so you can make them at home. Let's get to the food. First up are our date boats. First thing we'll need for those is some dates. Here I'm using these organic medjool dates. These are right from Costco. I'm just gonna open these up and take out 6 of them. You can see they're nice and plump. Next, I'm gonna grab one of my Dalstong paring knives. This is the perfect little knife for this job. There's a link below the video where you can purchase your own Dalstong products. I'm just gonna put the knife on top and push it down and force the date open. Then I'm gonna grab the pit and take it out. I'll just move on to the next one, and I'm gonna do all 6 of these until they're all pitted. Next, I'm gonna take my little paring knife and I'm gonna cut these into 2. So I have a half a date on each side, and these are my little boats. Next, I'm gonna line all these up so I can get them ready to fill. And you can see here, they are ready to go. Next, I need some cashew butter. I'm just using this PB2 cashew powder. This has a lot less fat than real cashew butter. For this product, it's 2 tablespoons of cashew powder and 1 tablespoon of water. So here I am putting in my 2 tablespoons of cashew powder. And now I'm adding my 1 tablespoon of water. And I'm just gonna take a spoon and mix this together until I get a cashew butter consistency similar to peanut butter. By the way, you can use peanut butter in place of the cashew butter, but I really like the mild taste of the cashew butter with these dates. And you can see here our cashew butter is ready to go. Now I'm just gonna take the cashew butter and kind of spoon it in with my finger right into my little date boats. This is sticky and messy, but this is how you gotta get it in there. I'm just gonna do these one at a time and use my finger to make sure I get it all in there. And then I'm just gonna go through all of these until I've got all of that cashew butter spread evenly into all of these little date boats. So I've got 12 little date boats, and that'll take all of that cashew butter. And you can see here, all of the boats are filled with cashew butter. They're ready for the next step. Next, I'm just gonna take some chocolate chips. These are dark chocolate chips from Costco. They're vegan. And I'm gonna put 2 of them in each of my little date boats. You can see here, my little date boats are ready to go with their chocolate chips in them. Now it's time to move on to the next step. We've got some sesame seeds next, and I just buy these in bulk and pour them into mason jars here. So this is how I store my sesame seeds. I'm gonna take some sesame seeds and sprinkle it really close to the date boats here so I can get enough of those sesame seeds onto each one of these little dates. And here's what it looks like before it goes in the fridge. I'm gonna throw these in the fridge for about an hour, maybe a few hours, and let them chill. Now it's time for my oat peanut butter clusters. In a bowl, I'm gonna add some PB2 peanut butter powder. This is powderless peanut butter. It's a lot less fat than using peanut butter. You can use any brand. I've just grabbed this from Costco, so that's what I'm using. For powdered peanut butter, it's usually equal parts powder and water. I need a cup of peanut butter, so I'm gonna use a half a cup of powdered peanut butter, and then I'm gonna add a half a cup of water. Next, I'm gonna just start mixing this with the spoon, and it needs to be a peanut butter consistency. If that's not working out for you after mixing it for a few minutes, then just add a little bit more powder until you get the consistency you want. A little powder goes a long way, so add a little bit at a time. You can see here I've got a nice peanut butter consistency. That's what I'm looking for right there. We're ready to move on. In a large bowl, I'm gonna add 1.5 cups of oats. Next, I'm adding about 1/4 cup of dried cranberries. I did chop these up a little bit. Then I'm adding in the cup of peanut butter that we made from the peanut butter powder. After that, I'm adding 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. You can use agave here too, but I'm just gonna use the maple syrup. Next, I need 1/2 cup of dark or vegan chocolate chips. I'm gonna microwave these for 30 seconds at a time until it's nice and creamy like it is right here. So I have a nice little chocolate sauce. And I'm gonna add half of that chocolate sauce to my batter. Not the whole thing, just half of it. I'm gonna save the rest for toppings. Now I'm gonna use my spoon and kind of force this together. It's gonna be hard to mix with the peanut butter and the oats, the chocolate, but just keep at it and you'll get it nice and combined. Next, I'm gonna take them out, a large soup spoonful at a time, and roll them together to try to get a little ball, just like this. And it's gonna keep on going until I get them all done. I got 20 of them, I believe. Next, I'm gonna put them in a mini muffin-sized silicone pan. You can use a tin if you want. They're not getting heated up, so they shouldn't stick to anything. I'm just gonna pop them in here one at a time until they're all in. And you can see all 20 of them here ready to go. Next, I'm just gonna use my fingers. I'm gonna push them down to form little cups. So they look like large, oat peanut butter cups. Next, I need to add the rest of the topping on. The first one, I just started spooning it on and thought, okay, I'm gonna get this all over the tray and I don't wanna do that. So I decided I'm gonna pipe it on. I just took a small mason jar and threw in a little baggie, and then I poured the melted chocolate right into the baggie here. Nothing fancy, right? And then I took the baggie and forced all the chocolate down into one corner. And I cut off the end, and now I've got a little piping bag. And you don't need to do this, but I thought it would be easier than getting it all over this little tray. And I'm just gonna go around, and I'm not even being fancy with it. I'm just kind of putting it in the middle. I didn't do this to impress anyone. I hate it when it's all over the pan. I wanna get it, I only have so much of this chocolate, I wanna get it on top of the clusters. And I'm just moving forward till I get all of these done. And you can see here, they're ready to go, off into the fridge for at least an hour. So I've had these in the fridge for a few hours now, and you can kind of see here the chocolate's all hardened up, and they're all cooled down and ready to eat. Let's start setting my dessert tray up. So I've got my dates here out of the fridge. They're all cold and ready to eat. And I'm gonna start transferring them to a cutting board big enough to hold all my dessert for my dessert tray. You can see me just moving them over one at a time. And now I'm gonna add my oat clusters. Notice how I just pop it out from the bottom and they come right out, and look at them. They're just little oat peanut butter cups. They're really nice. So this is an easy dessert to make, and they're really fun. It's simple to get them out of the silicone pan too. They don't stick, you just pop them out of the bottom. And since we didn't bake them, they're easy to manage. Now, of course, because I'm OCD, I've got to line up all these so they're nice and pretty. And there we go. I've got them all nice on the tray, and I have this spot over here with nothing on it. So that's for my third dessert that we're about to make. Let's get started on that. This is gonna be my mini bowl cake. So I've got like a really small bowl here. It's much smaller than a cereal bowl. It's like a little side bowl. And I'm gonna add in 2 tablespoons of flour. I'm just using our wheat flour here, but you can use gluten-free or whatever you want. Next, I'm adding in a tablespoon of organic sugar. Then I'm adding in 2 tablespoons of vegan chocolate chips. These are just the Costco dark chocolate chips. There's no milk in them, and you get a big bag for pretty cheap. Now I'm adding 1 tablespoon of cacao powder. I'm using this one right here. I don't even know where we got this from, but this is the one we're using. Next, I've got 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, and then about 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. And then I'm adding 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Use real vanilla extract, not imitation. Now I'm putting in about 1 tablespoon of unsweetened applesauce. And then I'm adding 2 tablespoons of oat milk. This is Planet oat milk. It doesn't have any oil in it, so that's why I'm using this one. Some of them do have oil in it. This one's really low fat, the pink one here, or the purple one, and it doesn't have any oil in it. Now it's time to combine all my ingredients. I'm just taking a spoon and I'm mixing this up. I'm trying to get like a cake batter mixture out of it. And you can see here, it's just coming together and it's starting to look like, you know, a cake batter. I'm just gonna hold it up to the camera here and you can kind of get a better view here. I mean, it does look like a little mini cake, right? And I'm just gonna microwave this 30 seconds at a time. I did a total of 90 seconds on this. I would do 30 seconds, check it, do 30 seconds, check it, until it comes to like a cake consistency. And you can see right here, I use the middle, I put a spoon in the middle to check it, but this is a little cake and it's ready to eat. Now, I normally don't do this, but because I'm doing a video and I'm gonna have to take photos of it, I'm just gonna sprinkle some powdered sugar on here. But normally, I just eat it the way it is. I don't feel like it needs any more sugar. But I want it to look nice on this one particular plate for this video, so I'm sprinkling some powdered sugar on it. But you don't need to do that because I normally don't do that. And here it is. That little cake is ready to go. So remember that spot on my board that needed something? Well, that's where my little cake is going, right there. Doesn't it look perfect? It just finishes off that tray. I'm gonna sprinkle a few more sesame seeds on the board just to make this whole tray look a little more approachable. And there you have it, an amazing tray of my 3 perfect desserts. Oh man, this looks so good. You're absolutely gonna love these. I can't wait to dig in. Let's eat. All right, so probably the simplest one and my favorite to make here, what I do a lot of, is these little date boats. Now, the date boats, you can use cashew or peanut butter. I have cashew powder in these, just because I'm already using peanut butter in the other one, so I wanted to have a little difference. But either way, these are good. I have these a lot. I pack them for lunch, and I love these. They're so good. It's just the right amount of sweetness with the dates, the right amount of creaminess with the cashew butter, and then the sesame seeds and the little chocolate chips on it, just like kind of take it over the top. I absolutely love these. I'll pack my lunch and I'll just put 2 of them in there. I'm telling you, 2 of those is enough to satisfy your sweet tooth. All right, let's try the oat peanut butter clusters. The oat, there's a half of one on here. Someone ate half of one before I could film this. The oat peanut butter clusters are nice because the oats are like the bulk of the, you know, of the texture in here, and then the peanut butter holds it all together. So good. I'm loving this. These are literally all my favorite desserts in one spot. The date boats are really good if you freeze them too. It changes the texture. It really is kind of like a frozen Snickers bar. So you might want to try that. All right, the last thing I'm eating is my bowl cake. So I'm gonna give this a shot. I normally don't put the powdered sugar on it, but for display, because it's gonna be on YouTube, I did that. But normally, I don't sprinkle that on top. Now, when you're making this, I would microwave it for 30 seconds, then check it, then 30 seconds, then check it. Sometimes I only have to microwave this for a minute, sometimes 90 seconds. I don't know why this is a difference, but I mean, I make the same thing with the same ingredients every single time, and it's different each time. All right, let's give this a shot. This looks so good. And you can kind of see here the texture of it. I mean, it's a beautiful little cake, right? It cooked through and it looks great. All right, let's see what it tastes like. Oh man, a nice little cake. And the portion is perfect. Like I can eat enough of that and got my cake fix and I'm good. So good. All right, my 3 favorite low-fat, starch solution compatible desserts all in one place. I love every single one of these. And remember, plan your fails. Plan this stuff ahead of time so you're not eating a Snickers bar or a bag of M&Ms or something like that. These little date boats, like 2 of these and my lunch for the day, I'm good, right? Like I've got my sweet tooth and my body realized, oh, dessert, I'm done eating, right? Sometimes it just needs a little signal to let you know that it's no longer hungry. All right, that's our video for today. Please hit that like button, show us some love. What's not to like? We have my 3 favorite desserts. Hit that subscribe button, click that bell, you'll get notified every time we have a new video, usually every Tuesday. And please leave a comment below. What do you think? Do you plan your desserts? What happens when you get a sweet tooth and nothing's planned? Do you just eat something? I'm telling you, this is the way to go. A quick shout out to all my computer science students who are watching. You guys know who you are. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.